Welcome to the Vieira Vault. I'm Bill Wang, Dilly D, bam, bam, bam. Here's the deal. This guy still doesn't have an intro. So I'm here to save the day. Bam. Now here he is, Ralph Vieira.
Thank you, Bill, and welcome to a brand new Vieira Vault show. This is my first episode with a guest, and you got to stick around to see who that is. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for the positive responses on my episodes, and hey, I got a couple reviews to talk about, a couple iTunes reviews. The subject is Vagina and Vieira, two things you can never have too much of, by Jacobs. So thank you, Jacobs, and that is true. Well, at least the vagina part. And the next one is from WPGS. He said my show is top shelf, 5 stars, rock and metal commentary, funny and informative. Well, thank you so much. So I know we got some more reviews because I get these notifications from Podbean and stuff, but I went to my Podbean and I don't see it, but there is one on my Spreaker that I would love to read for you. And let me get in my Spreaker here. Wow, I'm not even prepared, huh? All right, this is from my first episode. You know, my first episode I talked about Roger Waters and the political stuff, and I won't get too into it. Go check it out. But this comment is from Justin Childers. He says, I go see a lot of bands who I don't agree with on this and that. And because I'm not a huge Floyd fan, it's easy for me to take a pass on Roger Waters. He played 10 minutes from my house, and the anti-Trump pushed my away from going. Now, if it was Pete Townsend or Neil Young, I'd probably just deal with it. But the main problem with all these guys is they aren't even American. Roger will boycott Israel for whatever reason, and that's easy. What's that? 1 gig? Tel Aviv? He's never dare boycott the U.S. even though he thinks we're all idiots. We voted for Trump after all, because it's the only place in the world he or you two can come and tour for months on end, and when the tour is over, take a couple years to create a new show and start all over again. So I guess I'm a hypocrite. That's true. I go see this guy and not that. But I'm a casual fan of someone, and someone not musical put me over the top. I ain't going. Fuck it. And this door swings both ways. I don't want to see Ted Nugent talk about his shit either. The guy sings Wang Dang Sweet Poontang, and then he's going to lecture me about politics? That's ridiculous. Shut up and play your guitar. And for Facebook, I just can't tolerate people who go over the top and they have profile pics of our president's severed head. I mean, come on. Whatever the president may be, you have to respect the office, whether it's Obama, Trump, or whatever. It's frankly being un-American and a traitor. Wishing our president would fail. That's hoping we fail. You lost. Get over it. Be part of the solution. Wish him or her the best, all right? That's all. All right. What an angry message. Now, for those that don't know, Justin Childers was a part of our podcast page, and he left because he does not like Ian's, obviously Ian's main pick. Can't say I'm a fan of that pick either. Can't say I'm a fan of Ian's Trump hate. And I agree on a lot of things Justin just said, but at the same time, there's things I want to call out about this great, beautiful country of ours, the United States of America, where we have freedom of speech and we can say what we want. That goes for Roger Waters and Ted Nugent. Sure, I would like to go to a concert and not deal with politics. I just want to rock. But at the same time, that's commie bullshit, telling somebody they can't say this and can't play your guitar and just rock and shut up. So I disagree there 100%. Even though I'm not for it, I'm all for Ted Nugent and Roger Waters saying what they want to say, because it is America. And in Justin's defense, he thinks that Roger Waters thinks we're stupid. I don't know. Last I checked, man, this country's damn divided as far as Trump goes. It seems like a lot of people here didn't vote for Trump as well, so he doesn't think we're all stupid. And also, in Justin's defense, that song Pigs was written in the 70s because Justin's not a big Pink Floyd fan, because he doesn't understand that this song Pigs that was played at the show where they showed a lot of images of Trump was written in the 70s on an album called Animals about politics in England. Justin really doesn't have his facts together. He just sees it black and white. Hey, he's talking about Trump. He's talking about our country. No, he does it about his country too. I'm not defending it. I don't want to hear about it. But you know what? I went to that damn show and I enjoyed the fuck out of it because I went there for music. But I'm not going to get into that. Listen to episode 1 and I'll explain thoroughly why I enjoyed the Roger Waters show despite the politics. I am a big lover of this great nation, the United States of America, and the free speech we have. I don't like people infringing on people's speech, be it opposite views. See, on Facebook, I don't like politics. I don't like reading about politics. I don't like arguing about politics. I don't delete people. I unfollow people. So I don't have to see it. Because the last thing I want to do is what Justin just did there. Trying to educate people that have different views than them. Like, why would you do that if you don't think for 1 second you think you're going to change their mind? Or you think you're going to wake people up? You're not. You're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen. People's minds are straight. There's not one person wearing a Che shirt that will ever convince me that Che was good. It's just not going to happen. They have their opinions of why Che was a great person. And yeah, they're in America. They're wearing a Che shirt. Something that Che hated capitalism. So it's kind of ironic and everything. And it makes them look stupid. But at the same time, let them look stupid. Whatever. I'm not going to if I bring up facts to these people with Che shirts, you think for 1 second they're going to be like, gee, not only am I going to take this shirt off, but I am going to be a Che hater, Ralph. Thank you. No, that's not the way it works, Justin. But at the same time, I do agree with Justin in a lot of things he says, but I don't agree with the free speech part. You know, I mean, I agree that there should be free speech. Obviously, he doesn't. And, but I will say this about Justin Childers. It's really Childers. He pronounces it Childers because I knew somebody called Sherry Childers. And look at his last name. It's spelled Childers. And this is a guy that unfriended somebody because a good friend of mine, a good internet friend of mine, I never met him in person. His name is Mike Sears, African American, that was attacked on YouTube that I saw it myself. Somebody calling him the N-word and being very racist toward him. So he made a post about it and it offended Justin. Okay? And then there's Max Power, the great Max Power that left us all these epic comments on our YouTube page. And then we had him on our show and he went on the podcast page very proud that he's part of our show. And there's Justin to attack him, saying he doesn't like people that use fake names on Facebook. These are people, Mike Sears and Max Power, never said a word to him. And he has to attack them. You know, it's ridiculous. But, you know, I have a little beef with this guy, which I actually forgave. But no, I reopened the old wounds. Because this is a guy that I have a podcast page that he felt like he didn't like the way I was running it. Like if he owned the page. You know, I didn't like people bashing my buddy Terrence anymore. I was part of it, but I got sick of it. Oh, he didn't like that I wanted to do that, and he called it censorship. No, censorship is somebody telling you not to do anything that I don't like. That's the one thing I didn't like. There's a lot of shit I don't like on the podcast page, but I let everybody talk about it. But that's one thing I felt like Terrence is autistic, and I'm sorry. I just felt like it's been years and this shit's played out, and I don't want to be responsible if Terrence was to take his life from online bullying, because that's what it was. It was bullying on a guy that wasn't even there anymore. So I said, that's got to stop. It's the one thing. It did cause a big war with me and Ian, but in the end, Ian woke up and he said, you know what, man? I may not agree with you, but I'm going to have to compromise with you. And that's why me and Ian are close and buds, and even with everything he does with his anti-Trump that I'm not too happy about, I'm all for him doing it, because this is America. And the reason why I love this great country, I got to tell you why. I was sent to Cuba at 13 years old to meet my grandfather, and lucky I did, because I finally met him, and he passed away 2 months later. But while I was there, I spent 10 days there. And when they flew me in, I went to Havana, and Havana was beautiful. Gorgeous fucking place. And then went to this beach called Varadero. Beautiful. But then we drove a few miles into the country, and where my family was a place called Cabayuan. And I slept in a house that was held up by a board. And at night, I would see the fucking roof swinging back and forth like it was ready to collapse on me. I was sleeping in a bed with a net around it so I wouldn't be eaten alive by mosquitoes. The very first day I was there, when it was time to eat, which they only eat one time a day, I had a steak, but everybody else didn't have a steak, and I was like, what's up with that? And they go like, oh, well, we saved up a whole month of pay for you to have that steak. I was like, no, man, no, I gave it to them. I couldn't do it. And wanted to take a shower? Here's a bucket and a cup of water. That's how I took a shower. Wanted to use the bathroom? There's a outhouse in the back with a hole in the floor. That's how I used the bathroom, with no toilet paper, by the way. Lights out at 6 p.m. No electricity after 6 p.m. Hot. Sweating my ass off in that little bed with the net around me. And then I realized at that young age how much I take this great country for granted. The little tiny things, man. I was missing Captain Crunch and milk. Something that little. You know, I was missing my TV set. Things that we just take for granted every day. You know how we bitch when the power goes out for like an hour? Try 12 hours. Every day. I used to work in a hardware store with a Cuban refugee that spent 4 years in jail because they caught him betting against the Cuban baseball team. They threw him in jail for that. You say anything bad about Castro, you either get killed or you get sent to jail. In this great country, you can bash our president. Bash him. There's a lot of things I hate about politics. There's a lot of things I hate about Trump. There's a lot of things I hate about Hillary. I will never say who I voted for. Let's just say you'd probably be surprised who I voted for. But I would never say who it was. Because I am not going to debate people that their mind is set up. Made up. Just not going to do it. When I came back from Cuba, the first thing I did was kiss the dirty floor of the Miami International Airport. My parents is my witness. It's the first thing I did. Went home, had my Captain Crunch. And at that young age, I realized how good we have it in this country. How great we have it. How awesome it is to have somebody have a main profile picture of a decapitated president of the United States. Something that I detest and I don't like, but I love the fact that we're allowed to do it. I can walk outside right now and say, fuck Trump, fuck Obama, fuck the government, and go on with my fucking day. And that's why I love this country. And I don't subscribe to, just play your guitar and shut up. That's commie shit. So, basically, I agree with Justin a lot of things, but I also think he's a fuckboy for what he did to me on Facebook and all these other people because, you know, the first time he deleted me and blocked me, I added him back. And then the second time, we had to talk about this stupid censorship thing he said. I got through to his thick skull. Only for him to turn around because they were bashing Terrence on the Wadzilla page, which is not my page. And again, you can do whatever the hell you want over there because, hey, it's not my page. When it's my page, run it my way or get the fuck out. It's just the way it is. You want to call it censorship? I just want to call it ownership. So he went to the Wadzilla page where they're bashing Terrence and he says, I'm going to stay here. There's no censorship here. We already took care of this stupid censorship thing. And there he is bashing me again. I said, motherfucker. So I unfriended him that time. Then he apologizes. So I accepted his apology and brought him back into the podcast page. Then Ian puts up a Guns N' Roses video where there's a Trump piñata and they're hitting the Trump piñata, and he went so fucking ballistic on that shit. He left the page, deleted Ian, and then he deleted me. I had nothing to do with it. I guess guilty from association. Fuck that guy. So there you are. People piss him off without anybody calling him out. Ian has an opinion. He has to attack him. Max Power uses a different name on Facebook. He has to attack him. Mike Sears gets attacked racially and he writes about it. He has to attack him. He has to like tell him how it's not right how you do this where you're not even calling the guy out. Me, some guy shows up on my page with a chest shirt. I unfriend him and don't even fucking say a goddamn word. Why? I would rather have a friend like Mike Sears and Max Power and Ian Wadley over Justin Childers any day. He's a fuckboy. But enough of him. Thanks for the comment, Justin. If you want to leave other comments, go right ahead. Maybe I'll read it on the air if I feel like it, or maybe I'll ignore it. But I also want to thank everybody else for the nice comments, the really cool comments on iTunes, and if I ever do figure out a way to find those Podbeam comments, I will read them on the air. I'll read every comment on the air that I get. So thank you so much, everybody. And what do you say we get into At the Movies? This is a brand new Vieira Vault, and this is the very first Vieira Vault where I'm going to have a guest. And I can't think of a worse guest better guest to have than my compadre, my gay lover, Mr. Ian Wadley, Godzilla.
Oh, yeah!
How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for being part of the Vieira Vault, bro.
Well, you know me, I'm all about ratings, and your show gets ratings, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, like my coattails have nothing to do with it. You're even
I
grabbing my coattails to my goddamn podcast.
I take it where I get it.
Yeah, that's what he said. Ah, you saw what I did there? I was referring to a guy getting your butthole.
Hello.
Giving you a ring of fire.
Great to be here. Thanks.
Thanks.
What a great intro.
Well, you know I love you in a really shitty way. Our premise are movie remakes.
Yes.
And how a lot of people get very upset over movie remakes even before they come out. Like, oh, they're making a remake of my beloved movie. Fuck that. Because, for the most part, movie remakes suck. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now, there are
very bad.
There are
Not
exceptions. There are exceptions. Like Scarface. Did you ever see the original Scarface?
No, I can't say I have.
You know,
I've heard nothing but good, but
yeah,
no, I have
it's
not
not bad actually. It's pretty good. And really like that you know, just it's a spoiler, but it's not a spoiler. The only thing that is connected to the the other Scarface is instead of cocaine, it's about the prohibition of liquor from back then because it's an old ass movie.
and that's one that they're getting ready to remake again. So a very topical pick. It's been on the books for a long time, but it looks like it's coming soon.
Who's playing Scarface in the new one?
I believe from what I've read, the premise is going to be changed to the current drug scene, and it's going to be set in like South Central. So it's probably like young Jizstain is going to be like the new the new Tony Montana.
Oh, okay. Well,
but yes, this will be a like a black version of Scarface. But unfortunately, like, see, here's my prejudice right away. I don't think it's going to be cool like the blaxploitation that I loved of the 70s.
Right.
I got a feeling this is going to be very bad. I think it's going to be very tame compared to the Brian De Palma masterpiece. I can't remember who did the original. I don't know. Was it Howard Hawks? I'm not sure who did the original.
I don't know the director. I know the
right.
actor's name. I think something Moody or something like that.
Yeah,
I own
sure.
it. I own it because I bought back in the day. They re-released on DVD with a box set, and it brought the original. Yeah, I watched it, and like I said, the similarities is instead of cocaine, it's prohibition. And the only similarity I saw from that movie to Scarface is that his best friend fucked around with his sister. But I haven't seen it in years, so as far as I remember, those are the only two parts of the movie where, and yeah, at the end he gets blasted away by cops.
Yes, well, and there's that from what I've heard, there's the same line where the guy says, "How do you get a scar like that eating pussy?"
No, in that one, no, the original said pineapple.
Oh.
How do you get a scar like that eating pineapple?
How do you get a scar like that eating pineapple?
Yeah, you see? No, actually, you know what I mean by that, pineapple? I guess you didn't see it. Did you?
No.
This is hilarious. The TV version of Scarface. How'd you get that scar, tough guy, eating pineapple?
Oh. Yeah. There's certain movies when they come on like regular TV, I refuse to watch.
You know what? I've never seen it, but the Scarface DVD brings little clips of it, and like another clip is where Tony goes, "This city is just like one big pussy ready to get fucked." In the TV version, this city is one big chicken ready to get plucked.
Oh Lord!
And then the part where the chick slaps Manolo and he walks away. He's like, lesbian. In this version, he slaps him and he walks around and he goes, lame brain.
Oh, God.
I watch it, though. I watch those little clips and I'm like, I am dying to see the TV version. I wish I could remember. Go ahead.
Have you ever watched the fan edit of Jaws that I sent you?
No. You sent it to me?
Yeah, I sent it to you. Well, it's not... It's a fan edit, but what it is like they try to make it like a almost like a Grindhouse version of it.
Well, Grindhouse is like Bulletproof. What was the name of the movie, Quentin Tarantino, where Kurt Russell was in a car?
Yeah, there was Bulletproof, and what was the zombie one that Robert Rodriguez did?
Till Dusk Till Dawn?
No. Well, I mean, they both worked on that, but Grindhouse, I saw Grindhouse in the theaters where it was the two separate movies with the trailers in between. But then they released them on a Planet Terror. Planet Terror was the one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God! Oh, you gotta see it.
I gotta see it. Dude, I hated Bulletproof, and then I rewatched it and I loved it. So I wasn't in the right frame of mind because the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is all this talking, But now, like, looking at it, it was interesting, the talking,
Yeah, well, and then here's the thing. I mean, now you can get it in so many versions because in the original theatrical release, because it was released as a double feature, both films were edited to an hour and a half with these fake trailers in the middle, like Rob Zombie did one, Eli Roth did one, and a couple other directors. And then when it came out on home video, they released director's editions of both Planet Terror and Death Proof that I feel are superior, to the hour and a half version.
Well, that's the one I saw. I saw the long version of Death Proof. Because I rented it on Netflix. It was all one DVD.
Right. I love them both for different reasons. I mean, I see why it's edited as a double feature and it makes sense, but when you expand it, and they're both great directors, so when you expand it, it only gets better. I love them both. But I will say, as much as I'm a Tarantino nutswinger from way back, I prefer Planet Terror. I think that is just amazing, and that's the first one, the Robert Rodriguez movie.
Well, I shall rent it on Netflix.
All right.
Yeah, but getting back to remakes, like we were talking earlier, and we're going to repeat ourselves, but we didn't record it. Was remakes we actually liked, and Scarface is probably like the best one, but there were others like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the '70s version.
Yes,
one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that fucking movie so much.
So eerie and a great example of how, in the hands of a skilled director and good actors, you don't necessarily need gore to have suspense, because I find it a very suspenseful movie. But it's not like a fucking Friday the 13th with a blood and shit like that. But it's the way it keeps you on edge, with the suspense. And I mean, you want to talk about, to me, the granddaddy of movies like that, which is a remake that's had a remake, is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
Which was a remake of The Thing from Outer Space. And then you have the John Carpenter 1982 masterpiece. And then they remade that a couple years ago, which was a quasi-remake / prequel, and it was horrible.
I didn't even know about it. I don't even know about that.
Oh, it was bad. It was so bad.
All right.
So bad. It was almost as bad as the remake of The Fog. I hear now they're getting ready to do a remake of fucking two John Carpenter movies that are supposed to be remade, is Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China.
Two great movies.
Yes, and why remake that? Just go revisit the genius that is John Carpenter.
Well, here's my thing. But again, I'm not bashing you or anybody, but I really don't get all worked up on remakes. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'll watch it and I'll see if it sucks or not. I'm not going to sit here and already write it off. I mean, even that Ghostbusters movie with the chicks, I thought, watching like the remake, I'm like, well, man, this looks like it's not going to be good, but I didn't say this ain't going to be good. You know what I mean? I have to watch it first. I mean, I can't.
Well, I did watch the Ghostbusters remake, and it wasn't that good, but I'm not one of those like assholes like, oh, it's girls.
No. I
just wasn't as funny as the first one.
It wasn't because of the girls. It was because of the trailer I saw. I was like, oh, this doesn't look good. So I didn't bother to go see it, but yeah, I watched it on one of those like those internet sites that you can watch movies that are in the theater. While I saw like a crappy version off a video camera, but yeah, it was not very good. There was one scene that was really funny, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I'm not the type of person that's just going to write off a remake. Like, my favorite movie of all time is Jaws. And somebody said to me, what if they were to make Jaws again and Justin Bieber played Quint? And I'd be like, I'd gotta watch it. I mean, I have to see it. Then I'll tell you what I think. I can't fucking pass judgment on something I haven't seen. It doesn't make me better than anybody. It's just the way I am. I see a lot of people get very worked up over remakes, and I don't get it.
I do sometimes. Like, one of my favorite movies of all time got remade, starring one of my favorite actors, and I still refuse to watch it. And that is, and a director that I'm on the fence. I love some of his shit, and I hate a lot of his shit. But that would be Richard Linklater's remake of Bad News Bears. I refuse to watch.
Oh, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as oh, dude, it's hilarious. It is really funny, but the difference between that version and the original version is that the new version was fucking awesome. Then it tapered off toward the end. Then it got shitty. So if I advise you to watch half of it, I mean it is funny. That guy that plays Buttermaker, what's his name from Swing Blade?
Billy Bob Thornton. I love him. Great actor. Great actor.
No, and he was great. It's just the movie tapered off. It got kind of shitty toward the end.
Yeah.
And the kid that played Kelly Leak wasn't that good, but boy, the kid that played Tanner, identical. Even looked like him, you know? But there was one scene, I'm not going to give it away. Well, you're not going to see it anyway, so I might as well tell you.
Right, yeah.
All right, I'll tell you, and it was fucking funny. You know, the Bad News Bears, they were fucking doing so bad. You know, so right. Buttermaker came up with an idea, and he got a midget. And they found out it was a midget playing for the team, and an alcoholic midget, no less, you know. That was that.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I found that fucking hilarious. And he was a little... Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it's like, you know, to me, you know, Bad News Bears is all about the genius of Walter Matthau.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, you know, lines like Jews, spicks, niggas, and now we got a girl.
Yeah.
You know, which you could never say nowadays. And it's not, I don't know. It's something, it's like I don't like shit for being racist just to be racist. But there was something about the innocence of the time that movie came out, and to hear those words come out of a little kid's mouth was just magical. The same thing when Ahmad climbs up the tree and he's like, "Boilermaker, don't give me none of your honky bullshit." You know, I mean, that's just.
But you know, with Tanner's,
we got enough problems not bringing race into it. You know,
with Tanner saying Jews, spicks, niggers. I actually laughed, and I'm a spick. You know what I mean? So I can't get... He's like, you know, saying something that would be offensive to me, but no, I don't take offense to it. So I can't be labeled a racist like you for liking that line. Because if he would have said, what's the slang for Irish?
Yeah, Jews mix.
Oh, mix. Did he say mix? No, he didn't say mix, did he?
No, but I'm saying if he said mix instead of spicks, you know, I mean, it's still considered derogatory, but as you know, as a white trash Mick, I cherish it the same way, you know, like black guys, you know, hey, my nigga, you know, like if somebody calls me a Mick, I don't take offense because hey, if you a Mick, I'm a Mick, you know, we're Mick, I mean, Irish, you know, we're the blacks of whites, you know, so. I have a camaraderie in it. Somebody calls me a Mick, you know, as long as they're a Mick, I don't take offense, you know.
Cool. Cuban, I'm the whites of Mexicans. Am I racist? Am I racist for saying that?
No, but that's a fucking T-shirt. I'm telling you right now. Cubans were the whites of Mexicans.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love that shit.
Well,
I love that shit, but... Yeah, it's just one of those. I mean, and that's my personal hang-up. But that movie has such an attachment to me, and it's not only because I grew up on that movie and I cheer, but I mean, like, I'm such a fan of Walter Matthau and his genius, and I love Billy Bob Thornton. I think he is an amazing actor. Sling Blade, phenomenal. I mean,
you know what he was awesome in? I mean, awesome. I don't know if you saw it. I think it was either the first season or second season of Fargo. You saw that shit?
Fargo, yes.
Holy
Great.
fuck.
Great.
Dude, the scene where he walked into the mail post office saying the package scene. Dude, that shit is so fucking intense. Yeah, that guy's a great actor. And a friend of Lemmy's.
And shit, Bad Santa, and even Bad Santa 2, which I put off watching for a long time because I'm like, you know, like Bad Santa was so perfect. Why you got to make a sequel? I finally got around to watching the sequel. Loved it. I was like, okay, it's a sequel that holds up. You know, it's good.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, amazing.
Another remake that I enjoyed was Dawn of the Dead.
Yes.
That I thought was a really good remake because it freaked me out because the dead people ran real fast.
Yes. That's something I brought up in the past. Is like I was exposed to a lot of shit as a child that I shouldn't have been. Probably in hindsight. But I've been going to R-rated movies since I was 4 years old. Both horror and like sexual comedies and stuff like that. So I'm oblivious to a lot of shit. But even as a kid, you have fears and you have shit. But the way I would go to bed at night is, thinking like, even though I'd be scared of Michael Myers or Jason, I was like, they walk so slow. I could escape them,
right?
And I remember like even nights when I'd have nightmares, and I would like ask to sleep in my mom's bed, when John wasn't there. I would always take the side away from the door because in my mind, if a boogeyman came in while he's killing my mom, I'd jump out the window. I know I'm a horrible son, but when I saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street, I was 10 years old, and I remember Freddy running, and it like scared the shit out of me. Like, how could I get away from this guy if he was to get, because you're fucking 10 years old, you're trying to fucking make sense of this shit. But it's kind of the same way when I saw that Dawn of the Dead remake. As much as I love, and I love me some fucking George A. Romero fucking zombie movies. The first three, in my opinion, are perfect. You still have this sense of like, well, if you trip and fall and they bite you, you're fucked. But, as long as you got some good cardio, you can get away. But when they did that remake, and I wanted to hate it, dude. I wanted to hate it so bad. I'm like, how do you remake the legendary Dawn of the Dead? But man, to see those zombies run fast, I think just elevated the scare factor. And it worked. It worked on every level. I think that was an incredible remake. It retained the humor. I mean, because there's a lot of humor in the original Dawn of the Dead. And it's very present in the remake. And I also love, spoiler alert, I won't go into it, but the downbeat ending that some people complained about. I'm like, that's a perfect ending. Like, yeah. I hate when they always wrap shit up in a nice bow. Like, one of my favorite movies. Oh my god, it's so good, especially because of the ending. Have you ever seen The Mist?
No.
Oh my god. Frank Darabont, who did Shawshank Redemption, did The Green Mile, also did The Mist. I mean, all Stephen King, based on Stephen King works. But The Mist was absolutely amazing. And if you buy the special edition Blu-ray, they have it in both color and black and white. And some people are like, oh, I can't watch a black and white movie. I love like a movie shot in black and white. I have no problem with that. But it has the most like downbeat ending. But to me, makes the movie so powerful. And that's what I loved about Dawn of the Dead too. It has a downbeat ending that I think like leaves you in terror. Not only terrorizes you through the movie, but leaves you with a sense of like dread. And that I find very effective in terror,
like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes, and The Thing, both movies that leave you like, oh, what the fuck,
The end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. If you didn't see it, you got to see this movie. Is so fucking creepy. It's so creepy because you really didn't see it. I mean, the first time I saw it, because I saw it in the theater as a kid, and I remember walking out of that movie like. That ending was the creepiest part of the whole movie. That whole fucking movie's creepy. And you know who fucking ruled in that movie? Leonard Nimoy. Because he was the one pod that was the most human-like. You know what I mean? The other ones were kind of like walking zombies. Where he was convincing as, hey, man, there ain't no such a thing, Where he was actually... Right. Well, I just gave that away.
But I love everything about the 1978 Invasion of Body Snatchers.
Well, I love everything about the 70s except that song that goes, "Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault." You know that song? Run, Joey, Run. Probably the worst song ever. It's so bad. But the 70s was, dude, everything about the TV shows, the movies, the music, just Evel Knievel. I mean, everything about the 70s was just so badass, dude. It was just so badass. And now, looking back on the shit I hated in the 70s, I have a fondness for the Village People now, It was just something so cool about the 70s, you know what I mean?
Well, I was born in the 70s. I'm more a child of the 80s, but I definitely have a huge fondness for the 70s.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because me and you are very different when it comes to 80s shit, because that was your childhood, and I was very much a 70s kid. Now,
right.
In a non-biased way, can you admit, because I'm not saying technically the 70s better, because it's just a personal opinion, but do you see the 70s better than the 80s as far as pop culture, movies, and stuff like that?
Yes. No, I agree. The 70s are definitely better. Right. I love the 80s, but to me, the 80s really kind of end like a little over halfway through the decade.
Yeah, but you know what? Go ahead. Sorry.
What I was going to say, I can appreciate every year out of the 70s. I think overall the music was better. I believe the movies were better. I believe the television was more groundbreaking. So the 70s definitely rules over the 80s. Now, I love the 80s, because that's when I really grew up, even though, my first memories are, I would say, from like 77, 78 on.
What year were you born?
74.
Fuck, you're old.
Yes, I know. But, the 80s, to me, the 80s really end for me around 86. Because everything really went to a big ball of plastic shit, like around 86 on. But the early 80s I fucking adore. But every decade has like this hangover era for the first 2 years.
That's what I was that's what I was going to say earlier. Every decade, the first few years of the decade is really the decade prior. And also, you think about it, like, here's a great example. In my opinion, the greatest comedy ever was the Blues Brothers. You know that shit was like in development in the 70s. Because what year was the Blues Brothers?
Oh, well, 1980. But it was based on a skit that started in 78,
That's true.
Yeah. My three favorite comedies of all time are all early. My three favorite comedies, I think, like if somebody says, what is comedy to you? I would say Airplane, Animal House, Caddyshack.
Okay, actually, I if I was to narrow down my three favorite, it would be Up in Smoke, Blues Brothers, and I really have a hard time picking my third one. But I got to tell you, one of my favorite comedies ever came out in the past couple of years was Black Dynamite. I think that movie.
Love Black Dynamite.
I think that movie is. Well, it's retro and like a blaxploitation 70s movie, but it's so fucking funny, And again, another you want to recommend a movie to people out there, because I know a lot of people that never seen Black Dynamite that I turned them on to, and they're like, "Thank you." But you touched upon a movie that I really had good hopes for that was going to be a remake, and when I say this, you're going to go, "Why?" But you hear me out. I really had high hopes for the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Why?
Because I went to the movies to see it because I love Jackie Earle Haley. Because the thing is, he's gotten great as an older actor.
Oh, yes.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but I saw a movie of his where he played like a
child molester?
Yes. What was the name of that?
Was it called Children of Men or Children or something like that?
I can't remember, but it was great.
Oh, my God. He was so good in that.
The guy's a great... That's why I thought, and everybody was like, fuck Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm like, just you wait, motherfucker. This guy's awesome.
I'll tell you what, a movie that I thought was amazing. But to the haters, I will say I'm not a comic book nerd. I didn't read it, but I thought he was absolutely fucking amazing in The Watchmen as Rorschach.
Okay, you see, I'm not into comic book movies. Period.
Is
it one of those Marvel movies?
No. No, The Watchmen is a very cult classic 80s comic, and it's very dark, very adult. It's not, there's no Spider-Man.
It's not a superhero movie?
No, it is, but it's really fucking... Basically what it is it takes place in an alternate, reality kind of thing where, Nixon never got fucking, kicked out of office. He's still president in the 1980s, and it's a whole nother culture. But this movie jumps from, the 40s to, current times. But it's so dark and so amazing, and Jackie Earle Haley plays this character Rorschach that is just dude, if you love Jackie Earle Haley, you need to tomorrow watch it. But get the director's cut. Don't get there's 3 cuts. There's the theatrical cut, there's the director's cut, and then there's the ultimate cut. But I would personally suggest the director's cut. And I got to send you my password to Vudu because I have it on there. But it's just amazing. And Jackie Earle Haley steals that fucking movie, and that's the movie that got him Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, but as I was saying, dude, I went to the movies to see this movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was just horrified, and I felt so bad for him. And I felt bad for myself because I was going to hear shit from everybody because I was going to the movie. I was expecting to go to the movie, come out and say, y'all are fucking wrong. This guy rules. He's a great Freddy, but you guys won't give this guy a chance. But it was a terrible movie.
Yeah, and it killed his comeback, which sucks because he did that movie, Children of Men, or the one where he played the pedophile.
Yeah.
That one got him critical acclaim, and then he did Watchmen, which got him more acclaim. Even though a lot of people were divided on the movie, but it's anybody who saw it said, even if they didn't like it, they're he was fucking amazing. And then he did fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, and it killed his comeback, and that sucks because he is a great actor, and and we both love Losing It. Is a
great my god, yeah,
sex comedy.
Love that movie.
Spanish,
yeah,
buzz, buzz.
Yeah.
Well, he had that
roll. That whole Frank Sinatra look he had. I love that. That was Tom Cruise's first movie, right?
No, it wasn't his first, but it was before he was a megastar. But oh my god, any of you people out there, if you haven't seen Losing It, it's a great teen sex comedy. Shelley Long's in it. Filmed in the 80s, but it's based in the 50s. But it's a great, the 80s. That's one thing you got to give. The early 80s was the teen sex comedy, like the Porky's, the Risky Business, the Losing It, the Last American Virgin. These are all amazing, great movies that still hold up today. Fast
Times. Yeah, I was about to say that. Another great movie, Fast Time at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
You know what movie I bought recently that I fucking love, and it's a very cute little movie. My Bodyguard. You ever seen that?
I absolutely adore that movie, and anybody who had HBO in the early 1980s loves that movie. Oh my god, Christopher Makepeace, who was supposed to be in the Elder movie.
Really?
You've never noticed that on the liner notes for the Elder?
Just to get
it says the Elder, Christopher Makepeace. He was supposed to be the star.
You mean the older bodyguard, the bodyguard, the big guy?
No, the nerd. He was supposed to be, the boy. He's got the light in his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Makepeace. I mean, they started to do it, and then the album bombed so bad.
So let me ask you something. On the actual album itself, it talks about a movie.
Yeah, it says music from the Elder, and then there's reference to Christopher Makepeace.
You see, I knew at the time, because as much as I didn't even give the Elder a chance, I would read Circus Magazine from front to back. So if there was a story about the Elder in there, the Kiss, I wouldn't listen to the fucking album, but I'll read the article. And I do remember that Gene said, yeah, we're making a movie. That's why the album is called Music from the Elder.
Yeah. You know? Oh no! It was in the stages that was going to happen, but it bombed so bad. But they already had him picked out. He was going to be, the boy.
Interesting.
But oh my God, My Bodyguard, which has Adam Baldwin is so great as the bodyguard.
That's Adam Baldwin? Oh wait, no, he's one of the Baldwin brothers, right?
No. He's not one of the Baldwin brothers, but his name's Adam Baldwin.
Because has he ever been in anything else? Because I don't remember him in anything else.
Oh yeah, I mean little bit pieces, and in the early 2000s, he was actually on a really good TV show called Chuck. Very good show, I recommend. But he's so great as the bodyguard in that. Matt Dillon is awesome as the bully.
I love Matt Dillon. Like we are part of the rock. I love her. I love that old lady.
And,
she's awesome.
Who played his dad? I can't remember.
Martin Mull. Martin Mull.
Martin Mull, yeah, from Fernwood Tonight. Yeah, Martin Mull. Yeah. Oh God, My Bodyguard is one of the greatest, and that's one of those things. It's like, it's a great kids movie.
Yeah, it's a cute movie.
But adults can enjoy it too. I mean, it is like a young adult movie, but it's not. It doesn't pander. It's not like fucking stupid. It's a smart movie. It's a heartwarming movie.
It's a cute movie.
It's a great story. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, normally I don't like movies that are like that, but that one is the exception. It's such a good movie. And I love like revenge type movies, getting back at the bad guy type thing. It's just it was so great. Cool. So
which was a very big 80s theme. Was a huge 80s theme. Like the whole Revenge of the Nerd. Without being Revenge of the Nerds, but it was always like a revenge shit was huge in the 80s. Karate Kid.
Yeah. Karate Kid was a ripoff of Rocky in a way, though. In a way.
But still, by the same director, same guy that directed Rocky, directed Karate Kid, John G. Avildsen.
And there you go, Rocky, another one of my top movies of all time. I love all Rockies. I even like Rocky 5, but nothing to me beats the first one because Rocky was more of a scumbag. He was a loan shark.
You know what? I gotta say, I need to watch them again because I haven't watched them all. But like the last time I did like a marathon, and we're talking this is 25 years ago. My favorite was Rocky 2.
See, Rocky 2 was my second favorite. I loved 3 too.
Oh yeah, hey woman.
Yeah.
Why don't you cut up to a real man?
Clubber Lang was fucking God, but the worst one is 5 because it's just so ridiculous that Don King wannabe, and I didn't like sections of the Russian one because of the music videos in it. That I felt it was kind of like whatever. Which my drummer loves those songs.
But I mean that was the era of the montage.
Yeah,
where you have the workout montage. But I mean that's the same. I mean Stallone around that time. It's like it's Cobra, it's Rambo 2. And
remember Cobra had videos too within the movie.
Yeah,
music videos.
I tell you what, you want to talk about a great Stallone movie? Here's two of my favorite Stallone movies. One a lot of people will know. One I think you are the only other person who knows besides my father. But an amazing Stallone movie, of course, First Blood. By far the best, Rambo
without a doubt.
Another great Stallone movie, Paradise Alley.
Love it. Too long to paradise. I'm dying to find that soundtrack. That song he sings. It's so bad, it's great. But yeah. I recently been on a Stallone kick, and I've been renting a lot of the movies like the real bad movies he's done. And yeah, they're really bad, dude. The worst out of all of them. You're about to say it. That one was so bad. I watched it again. I watched it I think 2-3 weeks ago. I got it off Netflix. It's so bad. Rhinestone was so bad.
I love Rhinestone.
No, I was about to say this. Rhinestone's so bad, but it had some really funny parts. You know,
I love Rhinestone. I love Tim Thomerson, who plays the bad guy in Rhinestone. Great 80s bad guy.
And I want to talk about a very underrated Stallone movie where it's not an action movie, though there's a little bit of action in it, but it really showcases what a great actor Stallone is. Stallone gets a lot of shit, but he's a great actor.
Copland?
Oh, he was great in that. And I love that movie. Yeah. But no, Fist. You ever seen Fist?
Oh, that's the one where it's like kind of he's supposed to be like Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, it's roughly about.
I've never seen Fist. I've heard good stuff, but I've never seen it.
It's a drama. There is one scene where the workers are on strike and they all fought with each other with boards. That was like the only action part of the movie. But that movie, he fucking acted in that movie so good.
I wish people would give him a chance instead of him having to do his own stupid Expendables movies and stuff like that. And I love them for what they are, mindless action.
I only like part 2. I didn't like part 1. Part 2 was pretty good.
I like part 3.
That was with Jean-Claude Van Damme was part 2, right?
Who knows? I can't keep track.
I know.
It's all the same movie.
Part 3 was Mel Gibson. As the bad
whatever.
guy.
But I'll tell you what, seeing him in something like fucking Copland or Creed, he was amazing in Creed.
Dude, when I saw Creed, I'm not lying, I cried in the theater like a baby. I was crying.
Up a little bit.
No, I was actually crying. I mean,
Rocky Balboa was great. Rocky 6.
Rocky Balboa, to me, has the greatest scene in any Rocky movie, was the speech to his son. That speech where it's like, life will beat you and keep you down if you let it. That was one of the greatest scenes ever. I put that up there with...
It's not how hard you hit.
Yeah.
It's how hard you hit back.
Yeah. Dude, that scene is just... I put that up there with my favorite scene, Indianapolis speech from Robert Shaw. The greatest scene ever. The greatest speech ever in a movie is Robert Shaw, which I wrote lyrics to it.
I thought it took balls... because a big easy way to please all the fans is, bring back Adrian, bring back Paulie, but he kills both of them off to where it's just fucking Rocky by himself.
No, that's Creed. That's Creed. Rocky Balboa had Paulie.
Oh, it had Paulie?
Yeah, okay. Remember, Paulie was giving him shit because he was missing Adrian, and she's like, I love that Rocco, but he did die in Creed. They showed a scene where he was buried.
But no, I like that because it makes him. I mean, he's lost everything. I mean, especially if you watch all the Rocky movies, he went from nothing to having everything to going back to really have nothing, and to see Stallone just just have to act is good.
Yeah, because he's a phenomenal actor, man. He's one of my favorite actors.
And I wish somebody like Tarantino, who I love, would give a part to fucking somebody like Stallone, because given the right role, and Copland is a perfect example.
Yeah,
because he is not a tough guy in Copland. He is very much the underdog. He's the guy everybody makes fun of. He's got the hearing problem and shit like that.
You blew it!
We gave you a chance and you blew it!
What an ensemble of actors.
Oh, my God. Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel. Oh, my God. Another one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. I've been on this kick, dude. I watched it 2 times in a week. One of the greatest movies ever, Taxi Driver. You want to talk about the perfect, grimy, fucked up movie? Taxi Driver.
I'll tell you what, you want to see something that is amazing, and if you don't have this, I am going to send it to you tonight. And this was I believe the first movie directed by the writer of Taxi Driver, the great Paul Schrader, who actually he wrote and directed Hardcore, which is a movie I know you love.
I have it, yeah.
Have you ever seen Blue Collar?
No.
Oh my God. It's Harvey Keitel, Yaphet Kotto. Do you know who Yaphet Kotto is?
No.
The black dude from Alien.
Oh yeah, I love it.
With
yeah,
the headband.
the first Alien, yeah.
Right, and Richard Pryor. And
wow.
They play these guys. Oh my God! And these guys who work in a Detroit auto plant, and all this shit with like the union and everything. It's a dramedy. I mean, it's more of a drama, but I mean, of course, there is hilarious shit. You know, like there's a scene where a dude from the IRS comes to Richard Pryor's house, and he's claimed like he has 12 kids, and there's like Sugar Ray Robinson, whatever his last name is, and all these other guys and shit. I mean, there's a lot of funny parts, but there's a lot of seriousness in it. Blue Collar came out in 1978. Absolutely fucking amazing. I'm gonna send it to you tonight. You seriously, dude, you will love it. And it's typical like 70s cinema. It's grimy. It's real. It's no bullshit. You know, no goddamn montage. No fucking keyboard shit. Just gritty 70s cinema. Very much in the vein of like a Taxi Driver and Hardcore. You'll love it.
I gotta see it. Another great 70s movie is Marathon Man.
Seen that? Yeah. Is it safe?
Yeah. Oh my God, that scene is so fucked up.
One applies pleasure and one applies pain.
Sir Laurence Olivier.
Here's a great story. Great story about Marathon Man. So if you don't know about Marathon Man, based on an amazing book, starring Dustin Hoffman and Sir Laurence Olivier, and in the movie, and this is no spoiler, Laurence Olivier plays a Nazi who is on the run, and he's torturing Dustin Hoffman to find out where these diamonds are that are like a holdover from World War II, diamonds that were stolen out of the teeth of Jews and stuff like that. But to get realness, Dustin Hoffman is like, holy shit, I'm working with Laurence Olivier. He stayed awake for like 2 days. So when he did the torture scenes, you know, he seemed like somebody who'd been tortured for hours and is just basically on the brink of insanity. And he thinks he's impressing Laurence Olivier by doing this. And Laurence Olivier looked at Dustin Hoffman. He goes, Dustin, have you ever tried acting?
Oh.
Like, damn.
Ouch.
Damn. What is like basically one of the greatest actors of all time just said, fuck your method acting. Have you ever just tried acting?
Ouch.
Like, oh, God damn. But
That's
what
amazing.
a movie. What a
movie.
movie.
Yeah. There's certain movies that I have to own, and that's one of them.
Oh, yeah, and Laurence Olivier is amazing in that movie. Amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, it's great. I love the end in the little water plant place. But, yeah, dude. And another one, a great comedy that I haven't seen the remake, and there's no way the remake can be as good, is Slapshot. You ever seen Slapshot, Paul Newman?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I refuse to watch that straight-to-video fucking shit. Was
it straight-to-video?
Yeah, and that was with one of the Baldwins. Like,
okay.
I think the same Baldwin from Biodome, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, you see, that's one thing I am biased about is straight-to-video movies. That's something that I have a hard time watching.
Yeah. Sometimes, here's the thing with straight-to-video. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a mindless action movie, like you know, if you like Steven Seagal shit, like if that's up your alley, okay, here's a movie with Steven Seagal and DMX that went straight to video. You're probably gonna like it. But if you grew up on shit that Ralph and I grew up on, and that's one thing, you know, we equally shares. Not only do we have a passion for music, but we have a passion for movies, and we both readily admit we enjoy some shit movies, but we grew up on, you know, which I think is the finest era of movies is the 1970s.
Yes.
I mean, shit like The Godfather, The Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now. I mean, there's 3 Francis Ford Coppola movies right in a row.
French Connection.
The French Connection. I mean, fucking Deer Hunter. One I know you don't love, but is one of my all-time favorites. Network. Dog Day Afternoon.
Network. I got. Let me explain something about Network. Network. I need to go look at again because honestly, I haven't seen it since the 70s. But I was very biased against Network because that year, Rocky lost.
Yes.
Sylvester Stallone lost Best Actor to that guy that died. We're not going to take it anymore.
Peter Finch.
Because he died, so they gave it to him.
No. You're wrong there.
Oh, he didn't die?
No. He died. Peter Finch got Best Supporting Actor.
Oh.
Yes. Peter Finch got Best Supporting Actor. Sylvester Stallone was nominated for Best Actor.
Who won Best Actor that year?
That year, I'm not sure. I know Rocky got Best Picture.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
But yeah, Sylvester Stallone lost Best Actor. Peter Finch got Best Supporting Actor.
Okay.
Because both of the times that a Best Actor Academy Award went to a deceased actor by the time of the awards, it was for Best Supporting Actor. Heath Ledger for The Dark Knight and Peter Finch for Network. Now, I believe William Holden was nominated for Best Actor for Network, but lost. I can't remember who won.
I'm looking it up now.
Okay.
Best Actor was Peter Finch. Right there, it says it. The best supporting actor was Jason Robards for All the President's Men.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, 76. Yeah,
See,
you're right. My bad.
That's why I was biased and I hated. But look, and I'm looking at the list now. De Niro was fucking Taxi Driver. He lost too.
Yeah.
So there you go. But you know what? I got to give that movie another chance because I saw it as a little kid. I think around 78, 79 when I first got HBO.
And the movie is more relevant now, I think, than ever because it's so scary of what it was predicting in 1976. And it's what we're in the midst of living in, which makes it even more appealing. And Network is one of those ones I owned on VHS, I owned on DVD, I have now on Blu-ray. One of my favorite movies ever. The great Sidney Lumet directed it. Screenplay by Patty Chayefsky. I mean, oh my God. And William Holden. Ned Beatty is amazing in that movie. Faye Dunaway. I mean, oh my God. I mean, to me, that it's a benchmark movie. I know you're...
No, you know what? I think because of my youth and my biasness, I think when I watched the movie, number one, I probably didn't get it. And because I saw this in the 70s, because I remember getting HBO in 78, and so I was a little kid in 78. I was like 12.
You saw Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas too.
No, I wouldn't watch. I know what you're talking about, but I wouldn't watch Fraggle Rock or none of that shit on HBO.
God, remember when HBO had like fucking 12 movies a month, and it was like Mad Max, and and all this shit over and over.
You want to hear something interesting about HBO in the 70s, though? In between movies, they would show videos, and they'd show Xanadu from Rush. They show, what was the other? Like Iggy Pop, On Board.
Yes, On Board, yeah.
They would show all these music videos in between movies to make up time, where now I mean, dude, I haven't seen HBO in like 20 years, because I don't watch TV anymore.
They used to have this. They used to have this show on HBO called like Coming Attractions, and it would be like what's on HBO next month. And I'll never forget this. New Year's Eve, 1980, and we were at my grandparents'. My grandparents went out for New Year's Eve. It's me, my dad, and his girlfriend at the time, and. My dad and his girlfriend went upstairs to, have private time, as they called it. And I'm down in the basement watching HBO, and they were showing all these Coming Attractions. And the big thing then was next month they were going to have Dr. Zhivago, which is a movie that was 12 years old by that time, but, it's coming to HBO. And I'm looking at it, and it looked absolutely boring to me. But they keep talking about it like it's some masterpiece. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, I'm a 5-year-old kid. I walk upstairs, I open up the door, and my dad's got his girlfriend's legs bent back behind her head. I just open the door, I go, hey, Dad, is Dr. Zhivago any good? And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is that? And he's like, get your ass back downstairs. I was like, okay. So I watched Mad Max. Man. So I watched Mad Max for the 5th time.
The first Mad Max?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is 1980. Yeah.
Yeah, because then there's Road Warrior, which was great. I went to the theater to see Beyond Thunderdome. Oh my God, what a clunker!
Oh my God, I stayed up. I was so excited for Beyond Thunderdome. I stayed up. You remember when you were a kid and you could stay up for a day and a half and it didn't even faze you?
Yeah.
I did that with that. I had the soundtrack back then. Sometimes you'd get the soundtrack before the movie came out. I already had the soundtrack on cassette. That We Don't Need Another Hero shit.
Yeah,
I think there was two Tina Turner songs, and the rest was all instrumental bullshit. But I was such a, Mad Max and Road Warrior fan, I had to have it. And I've been up for a day and a half, and I'm just wired. But I'm watching, I'm like, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
What the? Oh, I was so disappointed. And I did the same thing for the first Batman movie. Everybody loves that Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton Batman movie. I was so fucking disappointed. But I'm a total nut swinger of Adam West Batman. So
same here. I own the box, the Blu-ray box.
Right, and I have that on Vudu because you gave me the code. So I have every episode in high def. But no, it was one of those things. It's I was such a Batman freak. And then when I saw that one and that Batmobile looked like a fucking dick, and I thought, and as much as I love Jack Nicholson, I thought he overacted, and there's no Robin. And I wanted that pow, pow, zing, bang, that you would get with the Val Kilmer Batman. A lot of people love that first Batman, and I was like, no, give me Adam West any day.
I didn't. I actually liked it. Don't get me wrong. I actually did like it.
It's your glass to Adam West.
I want to. Yeah, I want to tell you this about the original Batman series, though. When I was a little kid, I mean that show's so old that I think when I was watching it was repeats already, and that shit's old. Oh, I don't know when, but my house where I lived in Tarrytown, New York, we only had one TV set in my parents' bedroom. And it was my turn to watch TV, and all I would watch is Batman every day. I'd go in my parents' house. My parents would be out. My big brother would be out, or they would be in the living room or doing whatever. I had to sit there and watch Batman every fucking day. I worshiped that show, and it never failed, dude. When a show would end, I would freak out going, how the fuck is Batman and Robin going to get out of this one? I was always convinced. Yeah, I was always convinced. That's it. They're dead. They're dead. They're being vatted down
tomorrow.
I'm
same bad time. Same bad channel.
They're lowering Batman and Robin in a tank full of sharks. There's no way they can get out of this. But you know what's terrible, though? The
What's
Batman and Robin movie. You probably liked it. The one with Adam West with a shark repellent.
Oh, I love it.
It's so bad.
I
love that. I do too. What do you call it? I bought it on Blu-ray because I was like, let me give it another chance because I did love the shark repellent. Rubber shark.
Yeah, no, it is bad. I actually do believe that the series is superior, but there's just something. I don't know. It's one of those things where I put it on and I'm instantly fucking 6 years old, and it doesn't matter how stupid it is. I'm just in awe. Like I'm that kid laying at the end of the bed with his chin on his hands. Oh my God, what next? Yeah, Batman.
And let me tell you, when Batman came out again, what was the name of that actor? The Christian Bale.
Yes, love it.
I went to go see the first Batman. I fucking hated it. The Dark Knight, I think it was called. Oh, I hated it.
No, Batman Begins was the first.
All right, that one. And then the next one, yeah, I hated it, dude. I was bored. You know what my problem is, dude? Because I'm probably...
You didn't like the Dark Knight?
I was never a comic book fan. I think if you're not into comic books, you won't get these movies, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wasn't into comic books either. I was into Pussy, but I love the Dark Knight. Oh my god!
Oh, I didn't like it. Heath Ledger was the second one. The very no, I'm talking about the first one.
Batman Begins.
Yeah, I hated it.
Wow, I like that one. That's the one with Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul.
Now, I will say this about that one with Heath Ledger. I hated that too. But Heath Ledger was amazing, dude. As the Joker, he was fucking badass. The way he would lick his lips and dude, that guy was a great, great, great Joker. He was awesome.
So serious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when he slams that pencil into the dude's eye. Oh my god. Oh,
no, I thought, but dude, I'm watching the movie.
Cesar Romero.
I'm watching the movie and I'm thinking, I don't get it. Like with the whole Gary Oldman parts, and I was like, I don't get what's going on. I get lost. I just can't. My brain can't wrap around those storylines. You see, I have no interest in these movies, but my brother had free tickets to see Suicide Squad, and I like hanging out with my brother. So when I watched it, I was like, you know what? That was actually not bad because it was easy to follow along with. And I want to talk about Jaws for a second because Jaws not only is my favorite movie of all time, but it's also a life-changing movie for me because it was the summer of '75. Was it the year it came out? Yes. Yeah, I believe it was '75. I already moved to Florida, but my parents sent me back to Tarrytown because my aunt lives there, and my aunt pretty much raised me more than my mom because my mom was out there working, and I missed her, so they sent me over there, and they took me to see Jaws. It was a family night out, and the scene where the little kid Alex Kintner
yes.
changed my life, man. I remember
because you said you knew that's when you knew you were gonna die.
Yeah, it finally dawned on me. We die one day, you know.
I used to do this thing. My dad had on vinyl the soundtrack to Jaws 2. And I used to play it on the record player, and in my bedroom I had my carpet was like blue like the sea. It was a very cool, like weird carpeting. And I used to remember like I would put that on the record player and then I would go out in the hallway and I would run through the hallway and jump over the carpet onto my bed because I would think Jaws is going to come out of the carpet. But I would, it's so weird. I was like a masochist because I would listen to this beautiful music by John Williams that would scare me. But at the same time, there was like a thrillness about it. And I remember back before it was affordable to buy VCRs, we used to rent them on the weekends. And it was almost like, it's funny. It's a standard thing. Like, we'd rent it on the weekends, and we would always rent the same movies. And I know this is gay as fuck, but it would be Jaws, Psycho, and Grease is what I always wanted.
Three movies I absolutely love.
Yeah,
I love Grease. I love Grease. It's such a chick flick, but I love it. And I remember seeing it as a little kid, and just to hear him say tits during Grease Lightning, I'm like, ooh.
Grease Lightning, yeah. But it's one of those things like if you were there during the 70s, it was a phenomenon. I mean, you didn't have the internet. You didn't have cable. You had like 3 fucking TV stations and like the radio and stuff like that. So when something was huge, it was fucking huge. And Grease was amazing. I remember my grandpa made me cry because I had the Grease soundtrack on vinyl. And he drew like a fucking Italian mustache on John fucking Travolta and drew like gap teeth on fucking Olivia Newton-John, and I started crying.
And I love that album, dude. I love that album.
Oh yeah.
I did a remake of "Hopelessly Devoted to You." I don't know if you ever heard it. It's called "Hopelessly Devoted to Satan." I played it last night on my radio show, actually. But I will now. I'm going to shock you. One of the biggest '70s movies I didn't like, and I still don't like, and I actually bought it because of nostalgic reasons.
Okay, I'm kind of scared here.
Saturday Night Fever. I don't get it.
Oh man,
I don't. I just don't get it.
Saturday Night Fever is a very weird movie for a lot of people who don't who don't know it, who just know the soundtrack. You think it's just this disco movie. But, I mean, it's really... I mean, what I get out of it when I watch it is just about, like, a teenager who wants more than what he... I mean, he works at his dad's paint store. He hangs out with his buddies, but his life is really going nowhere, and the only thing he's good at is fucking dancing. And, like, when he goes in that club, he is, like, the king of the fucking world. But other than that, nobody gives a shit about him. And when I was younger and I watched it, it was all about the soundtrack because I love that shit, dude. I love disco. I unabashedly love fucking disco.
Well, that one, that grew on me, dude. I hated disco as a kid. I get that.
But that's my first memories. Like, one of the first songs, like, I fully remember, like mastering and knowing. And funny enough, it's not by a disco band, but is "Miss You" by the Rolling Stones. Because when Some Girls came out, my dad played it religiously, but it had that disco beat. And after that, it was "Do You Think I'm Sexy" by Rod Stewart. And then it's all the Bee Gees shit. So that's my first memories of a human being, is that era. But when I watched the movie, it was all about the music. But then as I got older, I kind of realized Saturday Night Fever is actually a dark movie.
Yeah, it's very dark.
It's not a happy movie. It's not like a disco movie. And in my opinion, that's why it's held up, because it's not just that. I mean, it was eclipsed by the soundtrack, but the movie is actually like this guy, they're all fucking the same girl, and his brother's thinking of quitting the priesthood and all this like dark shit. And basically the guy realizes his life is going nowhere and all he has is dancing. And what the fuck is that? How gay is that?
Yeah.
No offense, but you know what I mean? But no, I do like the movie, and as I got older, I appreciated it more and more. And who knows? Maybe someday, you'll like it more.
I bought it. I bought it on Blu-ray to give it another chance, and I just watched it. And I mean, the dance scene is really good. I did enjoy that. I love the music, where back then I hated it. I did see it in the theater because, dude, it was the law. It was a law to fucking see Saturday Night Fever and own Frantha Comes Alive. Two things you needed to do back in the 70s. And I did go watch the movie, and I just didn't get it, man. But I loved Grease.
Yeah, no, I love Grease. I even like Grease, too. That's how bad I am.
All right, Ian. Well, we got to cut this one short, but I will have you back. You are my Siskel and Ebert.
Yes, I'm big enough for both.
And we will... we only scratched the surface of killer movies. There's so much more to talk about. And what I'm going to do next time, I'm going to make a note of all the movies we talked about. I'm going to go through my CD collection and make a big rack right here next to me so that way I know what to talk about. And thank you, dude.
Oh, man, it was a pleasure and an honor to be on your show, man. Very happy for you.
And it's awesome. It was like the reunion of Dr. Fuck and Wadzilla.
That's right.
We haven't been around for like almost a week. So tune in every Sunday for the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. And let's I got to go get jiggy with it.
Oh, yes. Take video.
All right, bro. Go back to drinking.
Will do.
Bye, everybody. Oh, here's some plugs.
Hey, I'm Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Ayatollah of Alcohola.
And we are from the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
If you want to check out some crazy, uncensored, unbiased, totally nuts reviews of classic hard rock and heavy metal albums, check us out. You can get us on Podbean and iTunes. New episodes every Sunday.
That's right. And we also do each other's moms.
True. Free of charge.
Well, mine charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine's free.
Earpillar, the podcasting and interview news site. To keep up with your favorite bands or artists and the podcasts or interviews where they appear, go to earpillar.com to find out what we're all about.
You haven't listened to Mars Attacks podcast? What are you waiting for, man? Host Victor M. Ruiz brings you all types of hard rock and metal-based podcasts. You'll find everything from music-based episodes, interviews, to series such as Ultra Sexy Classic Album Series, where some of your favorite musicians, producers, journalists, and show hosts comment on the albums that push the evolutionary chains of hard rock and metal. Get with it and go to MarsAttacksRadio.com to find out more.
Listen to The Rock Show with Gully and Joe. Go to all the W's, Gully, GULLYANDJOA.UK, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern. The Rock Show with Gully and Joe. Listen to it. Don't be a cunt.
All right, Kiss Army. Since 2007, you've been getting Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
That's right, it's your Podkissed. Every month, the Podkiss crew, along with the Kiss Room, brings you Kiss talk like no one else, whether it be roundtables, interviews with the band past and present, analysis, and great Kiss fun.
Hi, this is Ace Frehley, and you're listening to Podkiss.
Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to Podkiss.
The Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Chris.
And we're from the Decibel Geek Podcast. And if you love this...
then you'll love us.
That's right. Brand new episode every single Monday. You can find us on iTunes and at decibelgeek.com. And the best thing is, it's rock and roll and it's always free.
Music's most diverse podcast, starring Luke Innes, Greg Simp Bootlegs, and Mr. T from Germany. New episodes released every Saturday on Podbean, Podcast Addict, and iTunes. The true alternative podcast.
Have you developed paralysis from trying to choose a movie on Netflix? Of course you have. There's too much garbage on Netflix to sift through. So join us on our podcast, We Watched It For You. We watch a bad movie every week and try to determine its watchability. We Watched It For You is for bad movie fans, B-movie fans, underground film fans, and cult movie fanatics alike. Don't miss an episode of We Watched It For You, a guide to the lesser-known movies of Netflix, available on iTunes or wherever you download your podcasts.
Hello, my name is Lee Gerstmann, and I have a podcast which is improvisational in time. The next episode might be 20 seconds away or it might be 20 years away, but it's called The Lee Gerstmann Show. And I do a lot of record reviews, but I also do editorials about women and food and other subjects, strange or otherwise. Feel free to take a listen to The Lee Gerstmann Show on Spreaker. Thank ya.
Hey, headbangers, you want your own radio show? Well, you got it. On Thursday nights, here on that metal station, join me on the Dr. Fuck Show. Go in the chat room, and I will make you my co-host. That's right. Everybody that joins me in the chat room, I discuss whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll mention your name, I'll say what you say, and we're going to go back and forth. And I'll even fucking play whatever request you want, unless it sucks. then I ain't playing it because my show rules, and only songs that rule is allowed right here on that metal station. The Dr. Fuck Show airs live Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Well, no, fuck that hope. I better see you there, motherfucker.
Hey, rock music fans, this is Terrence Reardon of the Terrence Reardon and Friends Audiovisual Podcast. Join yours truly as I look every week at a different classic rock or metal album that had a major impact on my life, and I'm usually joined by a friend or two or 10, and we talk about nothing but great classic rock and metal. And there's no country or Sammy Hagar or rap on the fucking show. That shit is frowned upon with yours truly. So if you want a great classic rock audiovisual podcast, tune on in to the Terrence Reardon and Friends Audiovisual Podcast. New episodes every Monday, exclusively on YouTube.
And before I go, I also want to plug Mac's podcast, Mind Over Metal. So check that out on Spreaker and Podbeam and iTunes and YouTube. And I am also on YouTube now, and Spreaker and iTunes and Podbeam. Leave a message, and thanks for listening. See you next time. Ciao.